Hello there, this is me, Ashley, sending you my love from whatever reality I find myself in today to you in whatever reality you happen to be in this sunny Saturday afternoon. Right, well, that being said, there's some things that are really troubling me, I'll be honest. I mean, obviously the whole of the Mandela effect is troubling in itself, but the thing that I've noticed, especially lately, is the fact that people are using the Mandela effect and the changes that are being seen in the Bible as some kind of indication that there's a holy war coming with Islam. And I cannot bear this. Why are we perpetuating this? Isn't there enough of this going on in the world to start off with? We should not be speaking this way. We really shouldn't. I mean, it's very troubling. Of course, it's massively troubling when you see the words of the Bible changing. But let's remember that what we class as changing, the Bible changing, to people where we are, that's their always Bible. To them, it's always been that way. They don't see what we see. They don't understand the things that we see. So we can't expect them to have any kind of understanding about what the Mandela effect is. We don't understand what it is. We don't understand why the Bibles are changing. But please let me explain something. It is not just the Bible that's changing. The Torah is changing. And today I've heard, I do know that there are imams that have noticed the changes going on and that they say that it's definitely part of end times. But today I read a comment that somebody from Syria was saying that they're seeing changes in the Quran now as well. I've seen on YouTube, I've seen Hindus talking about changes being affected by the Mandela effect. So this goes across all religions. This goes across all religions. This is not just a Christian thing. This, whatever is happening to us, people of all religions, all cultures, and all countries have been affected by the Mandela effect. We are all beginning to see not only changes to our geographical locations and indeed literally the reality that we call living in our day-to-day lives, but the amount of times that I have seen Christians using this, the Mandela effect, as proof that their religion is right and that they're actually calling for war with Islam. Now that has to stop, people. I mean, if anything, if we're going to use the Mandela effect, if it's for anything at all, surely it isn't to perpetuate the same shit and hatred. Surely we can see that it crosses all boundaries that we've put in place, even so much as our holy books are changing throughout the world. And it's troubling me, greatly troubling me, that I am seeing people using the Mandela effect and the changes in the Bible as a way of calling for a holy war with Islam. Now, as far as I can see, and I touched on this in yesterday's vlog actually, as far as I can see, no matter where it is that we're moving, because it's us that are moving, I mean, like, as I've just said, wherever we move to, what we see as changes, the people that are around us, it's there forever, always. They don't see any changes because to them nothing has changed. So much as so it is in the reality that they're living in and the holy books. They have no idea that things have changed. For them, they haven't. So I don't know whether this means that at any point in time they will see the changes. I'm not sure of that. I don't know. I haven't got a clue when, because I know that I only recently found out that all the changes that I've been seeing are the Mandela effect. But these people, when we move and we're seeing more changes in our Bibles, and indeed the Torah, and now the Quran, we're all seeing, and Hindu texts, we're all seeing these changes, that people where we are, when we see changes, that isn't a change to them, it's their always time. It's never been any different. So we can't expect those people to understand what we're going through, but we certainly can stop spreading hatred and trying to link Islam with like the coming of the devil is outrageous and I'm going to explain a few little things that I think some people really need to understand. First of all, I have seen people using the Bible and the changes in the Bible to say that it's like the Chrislam, and why it's wrong that that Islam and Christianity are trying to, well, basically what they're actually trying to do is stop the absolute shit that's happening around the world in the reality that we're all trying to live in, where one group of people, no matter who it is, are being blamed. Oh, it's just, this is wrong. This is wrong, and I'll tell you why. Because they were saying things like, well, Muslims don't believe in a moon god. Well, no, they don't believe in a moon god. They believe in exactly the same God, because there is only one God, and they believe in that same God, not a moon god, the same God. They also have exactly the same Old Testament scriptures, exactly the same. There's no difference in them. The stories are the same, and they revere every single prophet that we do. In fact, probably more so, to be fair. Probably more so. They revere all of the prophets equally. Another thing that has been said is that, well, Muslims don't believe in the trilogy. No, they don't believe in the trilogy, but neither do Jews. Jews don't believe in the trilogy either, but nobody has a problem with the fact that Jews don't believe in the trilogy. And when, let's face it, this is where Christianity springs from in the first place, I find that quite curious. We all accept that that's okay for Jewish people to not believe in the trilogy, but for Islam to not believe in the trilogy is somehow some terrible thing. And then that leads me on to the not believing that Jesus is the Messiah. They do. They do believe that Jesus is the Messiah. Muslims are waiting for the return of Jesus. They also know that the Antichrist, or the Dajjal as they call the evil ones, Shaitan, Satan, they believe that he's coming first, just exactly the same way as we do. In the Christian faith, they believe that not to be fooled by the coming of the first person. They know it's going to happen. It's because they're waiting for the return of Jesus. And when people are saying, well, they only think he's a prophet, Jews don't even believe he was a prophet. Jews don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah, but nobody seems to have a problem with that. Islam does believe that Jesus is the Messiah, and they're waiting for it. Now, I'm not knocking Judaism in any way, shape or form. What I am knocking is people using the same arguments that are actually, using something to twist the meaning of Islam, when Islam is actually closer to Christianity than Christianity is to Judaism, in fact, because Jews don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah. They're not waiting for him to return. They're waiting for the Messiah to come. That's what Jews believe. He isn't here yet. They're waiting for the Messiah to come. Muslims and Christians are waiting for the return of Jesus. So please understand that this 144,000 number is beginning to piss me off, quite frankly, because where I come from in my reality, nobody ever spoke of the 144,000. Because they were kind of the really unjudged, the blessed and unjudged. The rest of us aren't that. And how can we all be, Hindus and everybody, be part of the 144,000 if that's what the Mandela effect means? I personally don't think that. Because, according to Christianity, if you give your life to Jesus Christ, you're saved. It doesn't say unless you're not one of the 144,000, does it? And we know that even those that proclaim to be Christian, not even all of them will get into heaven. So it is obviously, I will say this now, the Creator. This is obviously to do with end times, the Creator. But let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves and start using it as a religious stick to beat other people with. Because when push comes to shove, we're all in it together. And the changes that are being seen across religion proves this. And every single time we move and we see changes in our holy scriptures, they've changed for us. They haven't changed for the people that are there in that reality, because that's all they've ever known in that reality. We don't belong in that reality, however mad that sounds. But please, stop with the calling for holy war and the battering Islam shit, because it has to stop. There are so many of us that are affected, and it crosses everything. Let's make this about love. I mean, this is the thing that gets to me. Let's make this about love, not about I'm special, because believe me, I don't feel special. What's so bloody special about me? Why would I be one of the 144,000 people? Why? Why would I? Who am I? I'm nothing. We're all nothing. The only thing we can understand really is the fact that we're more than this flesh and blood thing going on here. We're more than that. Whatever's inside is part of the big picture, and we're being shown glimpses of the fact that the big picture isn't quite what we expected it to be. But please, stop using the Mandela effect to attack other religions, because it goes much further than that. It's a much different state of affairs than that. So please, can we please at least try and make this be about love? We've got enough shit, hatred, evil and corruption going on in the outside world without this nonsense about religion. It shows it crosses all religions. So whatever's going on supernaturally is about us all, regardless. It's about us being humans here, spiritual beings experiencing a human reality, whatever that is and wherever that's taking us. And we don't know, because our words are being corrupted all the way through and we're not being led into any better world. So maybe at the end of it, all of us, maybe it's not going to be a holy war between Christians and Islam. Have you ever thought about that? Go on please try thinking about that. Please try thinking about that and stop making the divisions, because that I don't believe that that's what the Creator, that's what God wants. God wants us to share love. And I don't mean any disrespect to anybody by making this vlog. All I'm saying is that it is driving me absolutely insane to see people using the changes which go across everybody as if it's, this is it, causing more hatred and division. Please stop. It's all about love. That's the only thing I can cling on to is that it's about love. And so please try and go out there and share it and spread it. We're having enough of a problem as it is, trying to live with the Mandela effect. We're all together. Stop dividing between us. Don't start with the divisions now. We're all affected across the board. So please, stop with the division. Stop. Stop linking it to anything else. If you see changes, fair dues to you. You see the changes. So do other people in their religions too. So please, it clearly is much more than just a biblical prophecy, isn't it? It's a biblical prophecy and some. So stop with the divisions, please. Please try and make this about sharing the love, because otherwise I don't think I can cope with it. I really don't think I can cope. The Mandela effect is hard enough to deal with as it is without this. So please start sharing the love. Please. And reach out to one another, because if we don't do that, what is the bloody point? Anyway, thank you for listening to my ramblings and for me to be able to get that out of my system. I'm not knocking anybody's religion. I'm just asking people to please stop using the Mandela effect as a stick to batter each other with, because it's certainly far more important than that. On that note, I love you all.